Throughout history, people have used many variations of art to express themselves. Whether it be through painting, sculpting, or even dance, it was a sense of freedom of expression. But the art of tattooing has been viewed and expressed very differently from previous years until now. The history of art of tattooing has its roots in ancient times. The word tattoo has originated from the Tahitian term tattoo, which means to mark or strike. It was originated in the Polynesian culture and as a way to represent personal rankings within their tribes. Polynesians also use this art full of distinctive signs to express their identity and personality. Tattoos would indicate status in hierarchy, society, sexual maturity, genealogy, and one's rank within society. So on the right side, you see there's different symbols, and this kind of expresses and shows the Polynesian artwork. And they usually started from the bottom and worked their way up, and it symbolizes different times that they go through in their lives. And like I said, their sexual maturity at different stages of their life, they would get different tattoos. And then their personal achievements, they were able to tattoo that on their bodies to represent their rankings in their tribe. And then over here you see the artwork as well on the forearms. It's Polynesian culture, but more in the modern day. And then this is a little closer look up at, this is a female, and they get stuff that symbolizes more family related artwork and kind of expresses themselves through that. Traditional tattooing tools consist of a comb with needles carved from bone tortoiseshell fixed with wooden handle. The needles are dipped into pigment made from the soot of a burnt candle nut mixed with water and oil. The needles are then placed on the skin, and the handle is tapped in with a second wooden stick, causing the comb to pierce the skin and insert pigment. And this is a picture of what they used to use and how they used to tap it into your skin in the ancient times. When the art of tattooing migrated towards America, it was practiced primarily by gang members and quickly became something people looked down upon. According to GangsOrUs.com, gang members would mark themselves with the names and symbols of their gang that they were affiliated with. Also, more recognizable symbols of gangs, what they would use is they would use like teardrops on their eyes, which is commonly known as to represent someone that has been murdered, or they have been murdered, or that they have murdered themselves. Throughout the 1970s, the reputation did get much better when the hippies started practicing the art. Although they would use tattoos as a symbol of peace and love, many still frowned upon the idea due to the air of the heavy drug use and wild spirits that the hippies represented. Since then, tattoos have tremendously evolved and are accepted more now than ever. Many people don't directly look down upon this art form, but yet see the beauty in it. Tattoos are more focused on religious beliefs, memorials, and hold more positive meaning to them. Our culture and society has definitely slowly started to embrace and recognize the art of tattoos and the freedom of people's expression that tattooing represents. And then here, this is just more modern day artwork of more religious stuff, and then poems that people put on their bodies, or just stuff that's more modern day and represents a more positive meaning. So that's it.
So John, what did you think?
I like that you did like the history of it, you know, rather than just saying like what your point of view was. You gave like a little background on it, and then saying some of like what the modern tattoos meant and how they grew to be more acceptable because of what they meant, and then like the wide variety of like visual aids and stuff was good too. I think you shouldn't have just like kind of like read off the cards, you know. I know a lot of us do that, but and then one thing was like you had a bunch of the patterns on there, but you didn't really say what they meant. Like you said, like oh, you can get for like sexual maturity or like family history and stuff like that. But like with the girls' legs that were up there, you didn't really say like what that pattern meant. You know, you just like say what she could have gotten it for. Like I don't know if that information was there or not, like online, but yeah. But I mean, I liked it. It was good. It was a good presentation, and all the pictures were good. So.
All right. Yeah, there's several things that you mentioned that I think are true. The pictures are nice. I think you do a good job showing them, except in the last section where you skip through some of those images very quickly. I mean, we got a lot of background, a lot of setup. We're talking about the Polynesian culture, the place where we've assumed that tattooing originated, and that takes up the bulk of your speech. And then we get to the gangs and the hippies, and now it's widely accepted, and we're done like 30 seconds later. It just feels like it's, you know, the last part was just really rushed, like you looked up and suddenly realized, oh, I've only got so much time left and I'm going to finish. When you did, of course, have more time left, so it's not like you couldn't have spent a little more time developing some of those issues. I think that you need some more citation of the material. For instance, a reference to how the information about the gang usage of tattoos sounds like it probably came from some source, but it's not being cited. There's the discussion about the hippies' use of it as adornment for the time period, and I don't know how widespread it was or how widely practiced or what kinds of tattoos people got in those times. You say it became more accepted, but that sounds like it's a conclusionary statement. I'm not sure that you would find. Obviously, it seems like it's become more accepted because more people seem to have tattoos than once upon a time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that culturally it's as widely accepted. I think you need some information that suggests those kinds of things. I did write down a couple of picayune things. You point at the screen at one point and you say they're up on the right, and I'm looking at the right, and it's really the left that you're talking about, our left anyway. So that was a little confusing. And then, of course, you've got that exit line that I'm so thrilled about, so that's it. So we need to do a little bit better than that. All right.